CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. Today teaching you how you can change your shot meter and customize your HUD in NBA 2K26. Now there's two different settings menus that we need to access to accomplish this. The first one being the controller settings menu and the second one being the customize HUD menu. These menus will be accessible in different locations depending on which game mode you're planning to change your shot meter and customize your HUD for. First, for Play Now modes and MyNBA modes, from the main menu, scroll all the way to the right to Features. Here you will see three different sub-columns of settings menus. Controller settings is located at the bottom of the first column titled Options, and Customize HUD is located under the third column titled Features. Now in the My Player mode, whether you're walking around on your My Court or you're over in the park, go ahead and click the Options button on the PlayStation 5 or the Menu button on the Xbox Series X or S. This will pull up the navigation menu, and then hold R1 on the PlayStation 5 or the right bumper on the Xbox Series X or S until you reach the Options/Quit submenu. Here's where you will see controller settings and customize HUD for both the My Player modes like Park and Rec and the MyCareer mode. And then for MyTeam, from the MyTeam main menu, click R1 on the PlayStation 5 or the right bumper on the Xbox Series X or S all the way to the right until you reach the Options/Quit submenu. And then this is where you will find the controller settings and customize HUD for MyTeam. Additionally, when you're in a game, whether it's a MyCareer game, a MyTeam game, a Play Now game, a MyNBA game, etc., if you pause the game and scroll to the right until you reach the Options submenu, all in-game pause menus will have the controller settings submenu, but only a select few will have the Customize HUD submenu. For example, you see when I pause this triple threat MyTeam game that although I have the controller settings submenu available, I do not have the Customize HUD submenu. But then over in this Play Now offline game with the Lakers versus the Mavs, you can see that when I scroll over to the options, I do have both the controller settings and the Customize HUD submenus. In case that it's a bit inconsistent at times as to whether Customize HUD is available in game, I highly recommend you adjust the Customize HUD settings when you're outside of a game in the main menus. Please note that anytime you make changes to Customize HUD in the main menu for the Play Now and MyNBA modes, that will not automatically apply to the other game modes such as MyTeam and MyCareer. These often act independent of each other, so you could have a completely different type of shot meter applied in your MyTeam versus in your Play Now modes. Alright, now that we've covered where each of these two submenus are available for each of the different game modes, let's go ahead and cover the details and what you are able to customize this year in NBA 2K26. In the controller settings submenu under shooting and dribbling, the first option you will see is shot timing, followed by layup timing, followed by free throw timing. Each of these three settings is an on-off toggle, letting you decide whether the timing of the release of the shoot button plays a part in the outcome of a shot going in or not. With of course shot timing pertaining to jump shots, layup timing pertaining to layups, and free throw timing pertaining to free throws. Do keep in mind that for certain modes, even if you turn shot timing off, that is not going to turn the shot timing off within the game mode itself. Shot timing is required for specific online and competitive modes, especially in MyTeam and MyPlayer. Next is the shot timing visual cue. This setting lets you choose when you should release the shoot button in order to obtain an excellent release outcome. Personally, I like to have this set at the jump shot release point of the animation, but you can also have this set as early as the jumping part of the jump shot animation. Next is the shot meter input type. By default, this should be on for both the shot button, which is square on the PlayStation 5 or X on the Xbox Series X or S, and the Pro Stick, which is the right stick. However, you can choose to have the shot meter only appear for either the shot button or the right stick and not the other. The benefit to this being that if you choose to take a jump shot without the shot meter on, it has been noted by gameplay director Mike Wang that this should give you a little bit of a boost in your shot making ability. Next is the Pro Stick function. This allows you to decide whether the right stick is strictly for shots, strictly for dribbling, or allowed to be on for both. Next is the Pro Stick orientation. By default, this is set to absolute. If you wanted to cross over from side to side while dribbling the ball, you would flick the stick left and right, no matter where your player is facing. However, if this were to be set to camera relative, if from your point of view your player was facing to the right and you wanted to do a crossover dribble from your left hand to your right hand, you would push the right stick downwards instead of to the right. Last is the passive dribble hand switches option. This of course isn't really relative to shooting at all, but this is under the shooting and dribbling subsection here in the controller settings submenu. And this determines whether to allow passive dribble hand switches when the left stick is released. Alright, now on to the Customize HUD submenu. This is very similar to how it was in NBA 2K25, however, there are some new and adjusted settings, as well as dozens of different shot meters. It does appear that 2K listened to everyone's feedback. I was getting quite a few comments on the shot meter and Customize HUD video from last year in NBA 2K25. And not only did 2K bring back many of the old shot meters from previous games, but they've also implemented a few new ones that you can go ahead and try out yourself. Now before I showcase all of the new and returning shot meters in NBA 2K26, first, let's cover the perfect release animation in SFX subsection. Again, very similar to last year in NBA 2K25. You can choose whether or not to have the perfect release animation and sound effects on for just your players on your team, for players on both teams, or to have it off completely. There's also 3 different graphics that you can choose from called Flame, Ball, and Party Time. You can then choose whether to have this graphic appear to the left or right side of your player, above your player, or right above the rim. And then there's dozens of different sound effects that you can choose from when you or your opponent is making an excellent release shot. Next, let's quickly cover the player indicator subsection. The player indicator being the little circle that appears below the player that you are controlling. First, you have the option to turn the visibility of this indicator on or off. Next, you can change the graphic from being a circle to either a basketball or a flame icon. You can also change the color of the indicator with all primary and secondary colors available. And you can change the size of this indicator to be small, medium, or large. Next, let's cover the shot meter shot subsection. This is where you can go ahead and change your shot meter. First, you can choose whether the shot meter appears visible for jump shots, layups, and free throws. Of course, if you've already turned shot timing off in the controller settings submenu and you are playing a game mode that allows you to have shot timing turned off, the shot meter should already appear turned off. But for game modes that require shot timing to be on, or if you already have shot timing turned on, turning the visibility of the shot meter off does not remove the shot timing. It again only improves the odds of you making your shot. Next is the graphic. This, of course, is the shot meter, the type of shot meter that you see beside your player. Last year, we only had 3 options in NBA 2K25. However, this year we have quite a few different options to choose from. As I cycle through each one here, you'll recognize some of them from previous NBA 2K games, with the 3 at the top of the list being from NBA 2K25. So again, it appears they listened to the community's feedback, and they've allowed for full customization whether you liked or disliked the meters from last year, liked or disliked meters from prior games, or want to try out a new shot meter. They have just about everyone that was popular or that you could think of from past games. Once you've selected the shot meter graphic, you can then change the color of the shot meter, you can change the size to be small, medium, or large, and you can change the placement to be different places around your player, whether to the side, above, or below. Next is the turbo and fatigue meter subsection. With the first setting allow you to turn the visibility of this meter on or off, the second being you can change the placement of the meter, and the third being that you can change the size from small to medium to large. Next is the injury and fatigue icon subsection. This is the little Gatorade cup symbol that you'll see next to your player when he's starting to get fatigued. Here you can choose the visibility of that icon on or off, and you can also change the placement to be different places around your player. Next is the takeover icon subsection. Again, giving you the option to change its visibility on the court, as well as changing the placement of the little takeover icon that's near your player. Next is the shot feedback subsection. By default, this should be set to simple, and whenever you make an excellent release, you'll see a text box next to your player that says excellent. However, I myself prefer to have the full details of the shot feedback available, and to have this on for just your player or just your team, you would set this to user only, and if you wanted to see it for both teams, you would set it to all shots. Next, you can change the placement of the shot feedback, and depending on whether you chose the simple feedback or the all shots feedback, there's going to be different placement options. Next, if you chose the all shots or the user shots feedback, which includes all of the full details of the shot feedback, you can turn different aspects of this full shot feedback on or off, including the shot distance, the shot timing, the free throw chance percentage, which of course only applies to free throws, and the coverage, indicating how open your player was when taking the jump shot. Next is the ball handler text subsection. Pretty much the same as NBA 2K25, you can choose to turn the visibility of this on or off. Along with the ability icon, you can change that to be on or off. And then the text you see below your player can either be just the name, it can be the name and the position, or it can be the player number and position. Last is the rebound indicator subsection. This is brand new to NBA 2K26. Unfortunately, we're not able to really see what it looks like here as I change the setting in this submenu, and all you can really do here is decide to turn it on or off as far as the visibility goes. What this rebound indicator indicates is whether or not you perfectly timed the triangle button on the PlayStation 5 or the Y button on the Xbox Series X or S in attempting a rebound. This timing function was always in previous versions of NBA 2K, but there was never an indicator to see whether or not you timed it correctly. So I'm very pleased to see that 2K is taking community feedback into consideration when making changes from one year to the next. I'm especially thrilled about these new shot meters, and I'm very glad I do not have to submit myself to the ones from 2K25. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions and which shot meter is your favorite to use so far in NBA 2K26, and click one of the videos on your screen now for another NBA 2K26 tutorial.